Welcome to Oceanside, Long Island, home of Barrier Brewing. Near the water, inspired by surfing. Let's ride the craft beer wave inside.
My name's Evan Klein, owner, brewer, cellarman.
Craig Freimark, co-brewer, co-distributor, co-sales rep, co-lackey, and keg cleaner.
Distributor, salesman.
Here at Barrier Brewing Company.
We both do everything.
The company was founded in October of 2009. Evan was able to find this space here in Oceanside, which is kind of a little industrial park in between Long Beach and Rockville Center, which a lot of people know of.
Long Beach is where I started homebrewing, and it's a barrier island, so it kind of works on that level, as well as just being a cool sounding name.
You know, there were a lot of beers coming out of Philly and New York and Jersey and all that, but not a ton of beers out of the island. So this month marks our 1-year anniversary, which we're pretty excited about. We kind of created this approach by, I guess, necessity and a little just ingenuity. When we were first brewing, it was single or double brews. So we obviously needed to increase capacity. We needed at least 2 days where we did nothing but deliveries, just because it takes so much time.
Probably 80% of our weekly inventory goes into Manhattan and Brooklyn. They go through a lot of beer. We have basically probably 30 accounts or so. Out of those 30, we're delivering to roughly 10 different accounts a week.
It's a 1-barrel brewery. These are 45-gallon kettles. We collect about 45 gallons. We boil down to about 41. We end up putting about 38 gallons or so into primary fermentation. And through blow off and transfer and all that kind of stuff, we yield just about 31 to 32 gallons. So right at the 1-barrel mark. It was about 1.5 years of home brewing, and I was in Boston right at the time the beer advocate movement was really getting started.
Started home brewing when a friend came back from a brewery tour in Hawaii. He visited Kona Brewing, came back really excited, and was basically saying that we needed to start home brewing because he went on this great tour and had all these great beers, and we were both drinking a decent amount of craft beer at the time. Pretty much that day we went online, ordered the kit, and within like 2 weeks we brewed our first batch.
So I went to the second Extreme Beer Fest. That's where I met 6 Point, and I had already kind of had this desire to move to New York after college. Just being from Chicago, I mean, I love the big city appeal, and I mean, there's nothing greater and bigger than New York City. I was kind of there at the right time. They were still pretty small and under the radar when I moved to the city. Brought them home brews, knocked on the door, volunteered free labor. Did a lot of that for a while until I eventually got the opportunity to kind of intern and vie for a position there as an assistant brewer.
3 years later, I knew I wanted to give this a shot, so I started looking into commercial breweries and trying to get my foot in the door to learn that aspect of it. And I found a brewery in Brooklyn, 6 Point Craft Ales.
And I actually got rejected after the whole process. It came down to me and one other guy, and the final call, for whatever reason, they decided to hire the other guy. I was really sure I was going to be getting this gig. I don't know what happened, but 4 days later I got another email saying, hey, some things transpired, didn't quite work out. The position is available again if you're interested.
That's where I met Craig. From that point on, it was just a goal to open up Barrier.
Got along really well together. We both had aspirations of having our own operations at some point, so we were bringing in home brews, our quote-unquote pilot batches. Evan was the first to really kind of break off and make the leap, make the jump into it. And about 6 months into it, after things were going well, but he was a bit overwhelmed doing everything as a one-man operation, we were talking and decided it might be a good time to just kind of join forces and get going. And so it's, I guess that brings us up to date. Right now we're working with 5 different yeast strains, which gives us obviously a lot of flexibility and a lot of diversity, styles and flavor profiles that we can create.
Basically all the beers we brew here are beers that we like to drink. And we're brewing 20 different beers right now. They're, they range from a German style Goza beer to the IPA, to a double IPA, to a smoked stout, to a Scottish ale, a porter, Belgian styles, saisons. There's so many beer styles out there that we enjoy making all of them and sampling all of them and kind of giving our own little twist on whatever we're brewing.
The Gozilla is inspired by the German style Goza beers, which is kind of, an obscure style. For a while there wasn't a single brewery in the world making it. It kind of fell out of existence. There's a handful of breweries in the US that kind of do variations on the style. But what's unique about it is it's spiced with coriander and sea salt. It's really nice because the salt provides a brininess, but it lends a kind of refreshing mineral flavor and feel to the beer. The historical recipes indicate that the coriander is definitely more of a kind of background player, and the salt is really kind of the focus of that beer. We were certainly a little apprehensive about how much salt to use, because especially with cooking, a little too much salt can just ruin a dish. But not enough, and it's just missing something. So to find that balance was tricky, and we looked at as much kind of historical information and recipes as we could find. A little bit of homework and a little bit of luck. I think we kind of nailed the profile we were looking for. So it certainly felt good, because we were wondering if this was going to be the first batch, that was destined for the drains.
Every beer that leaves a brewery we're both super proud of. For the most part, brewing is brewing, and there are obviously different techniques, but it's the same basic steps wherever you go. It's just putting your own interpretation into the ingredients.
Our simple philosophy with all our beers is make them tasty, and people will like them. We're selling all the beer we can make, we're making all the beer we can sell, which is great, but this operation right here doesn't have long-term sustainability. We've essentially kind of hit the limits of what our current facility can do, at least with the 2 of us. I don't really think we can get much more beer out of here.
We're looking to obviously continue to brew the same amount of styles and more. I mean, we'd like to be brewing close to 40 different beers throughout the year. We're looking to get a similar setup to what we have here, probably within the range of 3.5 to a 7-barrel system.
We've obviously got to grow, and we want to. I mean, the demand is there, people are enjoying the beer. We'd love for more people to be able to enjoy it.
I think we're looking to continue to self-distribute as long as possible, just because we like the relationships we've built with our accounts, and we're going to be the ones handling the beer better than anyone else. And we both have some experience working with distributors, and there are advantages to it, but for the most part, we don't necessarily see those outweighing the negatives.
It's certainly, a pain sometimes to, be able to have to just manage, New York City traffic. Right now I think it's fighting Los Angeles as, the most congested city in the country. We certainly experienced that. But to be able to come in and hand deliver these beers and develop these personal relationships with the bartenders, the bar managers, the bar or restaurant owners, to be able to really provide them insight into the beer. We can work around their schedule. We're happy to deliver whenever's most convenient, so we offer that flexibility.
We put a lot of hard work into the product. We're both really super proud of it. We're looking to stay local and continue to service the surrounding area, make the best product we can, and we'd love to be one of the top breweries in the country, if not the world, and just have, not necessarily in terms of that, like distribution and reach, but just like, when you think of the East Coast brewing scene, like you think Barrier Brewing, and it's one of the top breweries in the world. That's our goal. Without obviously conquering the market, but just in terms of garnering respect.
I think we both would just like to give thanks and appreciation to to Evan, to his wife, and for me to my girlfriend, because they've really allowed us to be able to get this operation going. I mean, for a while it was generating enough money to cover the costs of ingredients and operations and utilities, but there was no kind of salaries coming in or anything like that. So if it wasn't for the fact that we had 2 great women behind us who were kind of footing the bill and encouraging us to just take this leap and do this and get this going, all this wouldn't really exist right now. So got to give a huge thanks to Melissa and Jen. Otherwise, this would still be a dream and nothing more. So definitely, thank you, ladies.
Over 20 varieties of beer from 2 different people. That's pretty impressive, and that is Barrier Brewing. I'd like to thank Peter Hobbs of KnownToBrooklyn.com and Lee Williams of Hoptopia.com for suggesting us Barrier Brewing. Until next time, that's the Brewery Show. Thanks for watching.
Yes?
What does the king request?
Beer and the trophy. Just how I like it.
Your cocktail. just how he likes it.